Hello everyone, this is Ether Dragon, and welcome back to another episode of Fire Emblem Heroes. As you can see, we managed to make it into Tier 28, which is great. There was, of course, the off chance we could have not even gone back into Vaults, but we did so even without a bonus unit on offense or defense. So let's take a look at our replays. We did run into a lot of Emblas this week, but more than half the time she was placed poorly to where we could just straight up ignore her. And we had Millet to isolate dancers, so we were not as afraid of a chase down as we would normally be in a standard defense I would probably see in Volt. But we did see a Yoon plus Embla team that was reasonably set up enough to where we had to sack units, just no option. So, what can you do? Unfortunately, if we're not here, not going to be able to pick up the one-shot on Fafnir. Does not fare well for us here, but they don't have any isolation. So we're gonna have Ramamon pick up the one-shot on Ash. That's about it. So on that particular defense, Yoon pretty much almost annihilates our chances of winning offense matches. Our only hope when there's Yoon on defense is if Air can hit and turn on one of their units. And we did get a couple of those matches, so we will accept in that sense. But yeah, pretty abysmal now trying to use our offense team to beat every single defense we encounter during late season. Especially with Emblem bonus, heck even Ninja Leg Yarn, Dual Leg Yarn. So difficult to deal with. Even for Nino, just because of her weapon has, it's not infinite scaling, but it's pretty strong scaling, 70% off of boost to her attack, defense, and res based off of whatever's higher between the total field buffs on allies within 2 spaces or the target within 2 spaces. And of course, Nino's using Blade Tome, so if he's buffed plus 24 to all stats, if I understand the weapon effect correctly, that's just straight up a free plus 16 attack, defense, and res to her on a Brave weapon, of all things. Fortunately though, we were able to deal with her in general just because she couldn't proc specials against Aiden's guard shenanigans. Of course, if there was Emblem involved and feud going down, then you can't do that. So, definitely Emblem is going to be super difficult for us to deal with in general. And heck, just as a combat unit, she's pretty hard for us to one-round KO. We either need a special to kill, or to one-shot, I should say, or we need to be able to double, which neither of which are trivial, especially if we have her activating her tech speed clash. That certainly does not help at all. But I guess to more than the usual effect. Because of course if you attack in place, Flash does absolutely nothing, if I remember correctly. So that's great and all, but we still have to do the damage, and she can be pretty annoying for us. Speaking of annoying though, Legendary Crom, unfortunately, not able to be annoying as Seliph was to pick up her picking up my kill. What can you do? It's not like Selph's going to be doing anything at this point. It's just a matter now of Legendary Female Violet versus the world, and of course, it's going to get one attack in here. Let's disrupt Sky, and Asker has a pretty reasonable attack stat as a beast unit, so that's a lot of damage. And of course, Embla being bonus just made it all worse, because one of her, in terms of a defensive unit, or defense mythic, one of the shortcomings is that you don't have access to more HP, so casually getting plus 10 HP with plus 4 speed with your speed-based damage reduction, yeah, kind of makes it harder on us. And of course, there are some people running Emblem with Medius, with Yoon, and so it would be nightmarish if they set it up properly, but some folks did not do that. They also have to dodge some panic shenanigans as well. Geralt, for example. The nice thing for us against Geralt is that he always procs on his, what is it called, Breaker Lance on Milla. So as long as Milla is away from relevant allies and field buffs, we're fine. But in general, yeah, it can be pretty darn bad when you are trying to deal with panic. We don't have no panic available DSA Legendary Zero, so not a great story there. And well, unit movement order doesn't really matter here. We're just going to proceed to nuke everyone because it's dual leg yarn bonus for the win. And the nice thing about dual leg yarn on offense is he's tanky enough to where you could have her end turn on melee units without running some form of close counter, and she'll probably be able to survive even if she's been doubled. So that lets you buy time to pick up infrastructures. Unlike my strats, where quite a few times this season we were not able to break all of our opponent's structures and ornaments or taking out order units just because we could not tank that many melee attacks with air, for example. Not gonna happen. But here our opponent does exactly what I just brought up, using dual leg yarns both to buy time to pick up the structures, and there you go, pretty straightforward. And well, here we are with some more somewhat tanky, somewhat offensive nuke units. Good old duo Thor. Not sure what I'm gonna do for this upcoming Chaos season. Probably just gonna do something random again. Legendary Sigurd's bonus, I think Legendary Nana's bonus as well. Definitely gonna run her offense. Probably. I don't know what to think now, especially that now that Emblem is a unit. Legendary Nana will be definitely useful. She'll be useful against those matchups because she can probably pick up one-shots where applicable. But other than that, I mean, we're not going to get much more out of Legendary Nana, especially against well-built defenses. Not sure what we're going to do, but we'll just be doing whatever like we usually do during Chaos season, because what else are we going to do? Dual leg yarn once again. Her duo skill is pretty solid for her usage because she's actually relatively tanky. Units like Dual Lin can't really chain off of attacks if they don't if she doesn't kill. Whereas there's a chance, it's not guaranteed by any means, for dual leg yarn to survive 2 attacks with her bulk. So in some cases, using that duo skill to attack again after you've already been into combat once can be helpful. But here our opponent's just going for the ether structure, not too surprising. And again, they can just buy all the time they want because it's not like Sylvia is going to be doing anything anytime soon. Can't proc any specials because of the guard from Dual Thor. So literally just going to be pinging the whole way, all the way to the end of the match. And here we have with more end turn units, the popular meta strategy. Because, of course, not everyone has Embla, and even if you have Embla, if you want full coverage, you need to run 2 of her, and that of course sacrifices other types of your defense. Because usually people like to, for example, include Medius, because preventing bolt tower damage, chip damage strats in general, pretty solid. As a combat unit, he's fine. He can cause trouble for folks like me who have pretty bad offense too. But now that we have no follow-up seal on Nino, he's definitely much less of a threat to my team. Nino's occasionally able to one-run KO him, but Still annoying for on guard. But also, if I were building a defense, I'd probably like to have Yoon just for the heck of it. Because if you're not ready for Yoon, you're in trouble. Of course, naturally, some of the classic counters are units that just straight up neutralize penalties. Send to the Yoon, Brave Vector, classic far save units that say no, even though they're blue. Doesn't really matter too much as long as they have reasonable bulk. So here, Brammon's unable to kill, but Legendary Crom picks up the crumbs. And that's great for us, not so great for our opponent here. Unable to kill Legendary Crom in one round, which is not great for them, but doesn't really matter too much because they're not going to be able to chase down anytime soon. So, good old do nothing and get your units nuked in the process. But anyways, going back to the Mythic archetype, of course you probably want some sort of a dancer unless you have a real good stall team. So, already in general, if you're going to run double Emblem, that severely limits your defense composition. You probably end up not using Yoon. You pretty much have to use Medius if you're going for some save team with, I don't know, Harmonized Capture, for example. You're gonna need that on guard to not get screwed over by something like Bolt Tower. Unless you don't care about Bolt Tower damage at all in Sync anyways, which is definitely a thing. But at the end of the day, we're just going to have to worry about those defenses when we run into them. I haven't seen any double emblems, but of course we're wearing Bolt. I don't imagine I will see too many double emblems. I think the more common scenario will be people will place their emblems such a way where if you want to put your save unit outside of Emblem's range, or your target, the designated bait unit outside of 3 columns centered around Emblem, you're gonna put yourself in a pretty bad position, or a worse position. That's pretty much all you can ask for on defense, really. Because of course, the thing that was undefended from Emblem is that sure, it prevents the save unit from saving, but you still gotta be able to take out the save unit. Because if it's like, cool, I now prevent you from using save on the unit, and then they just chuck in their save unit to bait and win the match anyway, that kind of defeats the point. So there's that issue that you have to contend with. You have to be able to still nuke. So I feel like one Emblem, probably one Medius, and one Harmonized Catria, probably a Dancer, maybe not, depends on the layout and what units you're running. But that only leaves you 3 more slots. You're probably gonna slap on another defense mythic, maybe Yoon, maybe Triandra, depending on what you want. So you just end up having a couple of units available to actually nuke the enemy units, and of course that can be quite suspicious. Here they're having Brave Dimitri go up against literally everyone. So unfortunately for their Brave Dimitri, Legendary Crom said no, which is not great for them, great for us. Feels bad, man. But funny enough, somehow this, I know we're not involved, but even being not involved, I would expect that at this point for us to have done pretty terrible in defense, especially with no bonus defense mythic. We haven't been doing too shabby. They're just gonna hit end turn here, totally makes sense. Except for the fact that they, of course, don't have all their units in range of Brave Hector. We have this thing called Dance and Mythic units outside of his far save range. We're running no follow-up seal, but this Brave Hector just so happened to be fast enough. He was running Sacred Cowl anyways, so it doesn't really matter too much because we don't have guard available. But the guy, because he neutralized the penalties, we had 40 speed plus the ally support from Flame, hardly 42. And there was also, on a side note, some debuffs to attack as well, so even less damage out of Deadeye than we would have wanted. But all in all, it just didn't double them, so ripperonis. If we were able to, there's a chance we would have been able to kill though, just because Legendary Crown would have been able to double, and Brave Hector would not be able to double back because of no follow-up. So then Bradmon could have probably picked up the kill off his Luna Croft into a no Secret Spell Brave Hector. But here, Legendary Crown barely able to survive, not that it really matters. Gonna have their Ninja Camilla barely pick up the kill on that. It's unfortunate. Do about it. He's definitely a solid unit if you ignore the existence of heavy damage reduction, which there was there, but not in the first place. Doesn't have a lot of HP, so that does not help. But Ninja Camilla definitely super scary in arena, especially if you're not prepared for some of my arena teams. Can just get full step fired. Not sure. Either nukes swing the death so you can counter if we get entering, or you can't play her face if you can't get these first kill. Definitely pretty scary in that aspect, but of course, like most units like her, she is inevitably not going to age well through dead. We of course got Special Spiral 4, and that's definitely made some ripples in what units can be used on defense, especially, or even in other modes in general. The ability to negate damage reduction by proccing specials is pretty strong. The problem is, one of the other pretty strong metas, super meta effects right now is the dragon shenanigans where, oh, you're about to proc a special, it would be a shame if I were to have more res than you. And tick up your special cooldown by 1 so you can't actually proc it. Yeah, that's definitely going to be a problem with Special Spiral 4. Forever. There's no effects in the game so far that we can just casually give the units where you can tick up your special cooldown before you attack the kill. So yeah, that's not a thing. And if it were a thing, it would probably be in B slot, which you can't run with Special Spiral, so ripperoni. Here, Brave Dimitri doing his thing, able to survive. It's really all that matters for him at this point. He, of course, is trying to keep his first time. What's her name? Legendary Female Ballad twice, which he's able to, because of his damage reduction. Got bonus doubler, we weren't running low on him. So the bonus doubler and everything, definitely helping him out quite a bit. I still haven't even refined my Brave Dimitri. I picked him when, of course, his CYL dropped just for the heck of it. I didn't really see much value in picking up the other Brave units at the time. Even now, I still don't really regret that decision. At this point, I have every Brave unit from that CYL except Brave Edelgard still, because I'm not actively summoning for her. And the few times I've had the opportunity to, she just didn't show up, so what can you do? Not that it would really change anything, because I haven't invested into building any save unit yet, so it's just, I've been using units to have save at base like Ascended VR. We all know how great she is. She pretty much just gets the bare bones job done, just walls basic units, but once you get to these actually stronger units, you definitely can fall off quite a bit. I forgot to show rank, not that it really matters because we're outside of Vault, so it's going to be a top 20k all the way. But for us on defense to only get -70 with running no defense bonus mythic, That's pretty much a win for us. Can't do much better than that. Of course, I've been thinking about ending the Resonant Battles series and just having the score show up, or showing the score like we've been doing in the replays videos, just because, well, there's not much to them. We're basically just showcasing us goofing off. And here, I decided to just do a one and done run in Arena Assaults. We got pretty meh score. We're probably gonna hold top 1k. Not the end of the world if we don't hold top 1k. I'm not gonna be like, oh no, we missed out on 15 Cap Dragon Flowers. I'm pretty sure those are Cap Dragon Flowers, but I don't know why I tapped Allegiance Battles there. So, it's not the end of the world, it's just kind of the, oh, we usually get top 1k this week, we didn't get it. Ripperonis to our streak kind of deal, but we've already broken our streak somewhat recently anyways, so it doesn't matter at all. And we do have to use our feathers, probably just going to build another unit to plus 10 pretty soon. But we'll be back when the results drop in.